Good afternoon, Ascension. I am the Reverend George Ann McDonald, and this is your post-church wrap-up. Today, we blessed animals and celebrated all things Francis. Today, we had an interesting gospel reading as the religious authorities of Jesus' time were trying to trap him with a tricky question, and Jesus was having no part of it. He asked them an equally tricky question back and trapped them instead. I love Ascension's free to question motto. A big part of my spiritual life has been a Rainier Rilke quote, "Love the questions." In the book, Letters to a Young Poet, Rilke says, "Love the questions, and one day you will find that you are living the answers." So much of the Anglican life, so much of what we live in our authority comes from question and conversation and our practice, our lived practice. Not doctrine, our lived practice together. Our conversation together, our questions together. That's what I've noticed the many years of living in this beautiful tradition of ours. Many years ago, when I was a Christian youth director, we had this amazing project where we were inviting our kids to do a fundraiser for going on pilgrimage before being confirmed. We were buying all these tacky pink flamingos and flamingoing people's yards in order to go on that pilgrimage. It cost money to have somebody's yard flamingoed, and then money to have the flamingos pulled from the yard. In the midst of that project, a family ended up taking in a young man who had been kicked out of his home for being gay. The parent who took in that young man was worried that maybe our church would not find him to be welcome in our church. We assured our member that indeed we had had long conversation about authority of Scripture and about human sexuality, and indeed that young man would be welcome. That young man went on to join our church, and his life was transformed by our youth group and by being welcomed and loved. You never know what questions and what the authority of sitting together and living answers are going to change and transform people's hearts. I hope that if you are ever in Stillwater, you will come on a Sunday morning and come ask your questions and perhaps find lived answers here. Until then, peace be with you and God bless. Bye-bye.